She's the best damn detective I've ever met. If she says she's got a lead on Solus, I believe her.
Hello everyone and welcome to PlayStation Access. My name is Rosie and I'm joined today by Robert Pearson.
Oh, hello, Rosie Caddick.
And Rob, I'm personally very excited to hear you chat in a moment about Dragon Age The Veilguard because I actually don't know a lot about Dragon Age and it's a series I've always been interested in, so I'm super excited to hear you tell me what you think of this game since you've been playing it at Summer Game Fest.
Yeah, well, I'll correct you there. I haven't played it, Rosie. I've seen it being played.
Oh, you've seen it?
Yeah, I got treated to a behind closed doors demo being played live in front of me. So I've seen the first hour of the game. People may have seen the trailer, the recent trailer at Summer Game Fest, which I thought was very cool, like revealing all of the characters. But I don't think it really gives you, when you see this game, and I will preface this by saying I am also not an expert in Dragon Age. It's a series that I have, casually dabbled with in the past and have always meant to sort of dive in more. Having seen the start of this game, I think there is no question that this is now gone very high up my list of highly anticipated games, because I honestly was blown away by what I saw of this game. Visually, it's up there with one of the best looking games I've ever seen. Like, I honestly could not believe what I was looking at when I was seeing this thing in motion. They're using the Frostbite engine, and the lighting. I just couldn't believe it. So we being demoed the game by a member of the dev team, and they were constantly pausing and being, I just want to draw attention, everyone, to the lighting in this cave, because we're quite proud of the lighting in this cave. And I was thinking, too right you're proud of it. This looks just ridiculous. And it was to the extent where it was quite hard for me to concentrate on the actual story content of what was happening. I just kept goggling at, like, it was raining in this part of the level, and the rain droplets appearing on characters' clothing and skin, and the way these rain droplets are then just running off, and like bits of wood or bits of marble getting speckled with rain and raindrops running down them. There's like a big storm going on in the background, and the way the lightning would hit and it would light up the whole. You'd just all of a sudden it would flash, and all of a sudden you would see for miles in the distance, like a mountain just lit up in the distance. I honestly, there's no way that I can describe this to you with my words that are gonna prepare you for how good this thing looks when you actually play it. I honestly couldn't believe how good it looked. Incredible lighting engine.
It's sounding stunning, and the fact that, like you said, the devs paused just to acknowledge the detail and the beauty of what they've done, and also the fact that you weren't even focusing on the story just to look at everything, goes to show how good it does look.
We were running short on time towards the end of our slot, and we were getting towards the climactic story beat, which I will not spoil, of the opening hour of the game. And the member of the dev team was like, I know we've got to run, but I just want you to just stop here. Like she was instructing the guy playing the game. So stop here and just look at this bit. Because there was so much going on. Like, again, without wanting to spoil the story specifics of why, there was a load of stuff floating about in the air, but there was a raging storm going on. Not just a natural storm, but a magical storm as well. And just stuff flying about all over the place, like a big swirling vortex of chaos. And everyone in the room was just like, oh my god. It's like, when you get like that sort of like new console generation feeling when everything you look at just looks astonishingly good. It felt like that, and we're like, a long way through the PS5 generation now, but I was, really sort of stopped in my tracks by how good this game looked. But anyway, we'll get on to the actual gameplay of it now. We spent a lot of time at the start of the gameplay presentation going through the character creation system, which is obviously a big thing for RPG fans, especially for Dragon Age fans. They were keen to stress like how customizable your character can be. You know, you can customize everything from skin tone to hairstyle to your pronouns to your body type. Like, you know, it's a very sort of inclusive character creation system, which is very cool to see. But also they made, you know, talking about the lighting again, they had this amazing screen where you could, once you've chosen what your skin tone is, you can like change the lighting on it, so you can have like, this is what your character would look like in a storm, this is what your character would look like in direct sunlight. You know, they mentioned the fact, like, you know, quite often you'll create a character and you'll think they look good, and then you get them into the first cutscene and you're like, oh my god, no, they look horrible, this is terrible.
Oh, that happens to me all the time.
I've got to play as this abomination for the entire game now. So they were very keen to give you options in the character creator that really lets you see your character from all angles in all lighting conditions, to make sure that you have like a character that you're completely happy with, which I thought was very cool. And I can easily see myself, you know, spending upwards of like an hour fine-tuning my character. You know, I'm determined not to play as just bald Rob Pearson man. I'm going to make a cool character, I think. Like a really out-there cool character for this. But, you know, if you want to put yourself in the game, we've seen some really cool character creators this year. Like the Dragon's Dogma 2 character creator in particular springs to mind as like a really good one. And again, with this, with Dragon Age The Veilguard, it looks like you're going to be able to make like an incredibly accurate representation of yourself if you want to. Which, for people who love, you know, really doing that hardcore role-playing thing of putting themselves in a game, you're absolutely going to be able to do that. But in terms of what we actually see in the first hour of this game, so again, I will preface this by saying I'm not like a Dragon Age expert, but Solus, the Dreadwolf, he is back, and basically he's back and he's doing a bad thing. He's trying to tear down the veil. Which is where you come in, the Veilguard, and it's you need to stop him doing that. You do not want him to tear down the veil because it means bad things.
You need to guard the veil.
Yes, your character, who is called Rook, is joined pretty quickly by Varric, who's like a Dragon Age mainstay, Harding, who's now a companion character, who I think by fan demand has been made a companion character in Dragon Age The Veilguard, and we saw Nev as well. So like a gang of 4 essentially working their way through what felt like a very climactic level. It's the start of the game, and in fact the developer did make a point of saying, you know, we wanted this opening to feel like the climax. We wanted it to look and feel like this is the last mission, and it's the first thing you do, and it does feel like that. Like the stakes are very high, like the world is ending pretty much right at the start of the game, and it's, you know, a very exciting introduction to the story, and also like the thing that really stood out to me was the change to the combat system. So there's still the sort of pause and play, strategical role-playing elements that you would expect from a Dragon Age game, but the camera is much closer in now. It's much more intimate, and the moment-to-moment combat is far more sort of, you know, I would describe it as a real-time combat system, essentially. So for me, like the combat system in Dragon Age Inquisition, for example, like I found it really challenging, and it looks like the combat here in the Veilguard, you know, it looks like my bag basically. So you've got the, quite similar to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, I guess. You've got the immediacy of like a really slick real-time combat system where you can do combos, you can parry, you can dodge, all that kind of good stuff. You've got like a hotkey system where you can put your sort of like favorite moves on a hotkey, so if you want to unleash your favorite moves really quickly. But then if you want to, you can do the Dragon Age thing of completely pausing the action, giving commands to various party members, and, you know, scanning and, you know, like feeling out enemies' weaknesses, using specific moves against them, all the sort of, you know, the good role-playing strategy stuff that a Dragon Age fan would want. But in motion, yeah, it looks awesome. Like, it looks a lot more fast-paced and action-oriented than we have seen in previous Dragon Age games. And I am down for that. Like, I think it worked really well in the recent Final Fantasy games, that sort of lean towards a more real-time action system, and I thought it looked spectacular here as well. Just like parrying and dodging and blocking magical attacks and then unleashing your own stuff. We were playing as a rogue for this particular gameplay demo, and obviously there's other classes you can pick, warrior. So
I wanted to ask if there was other classes you could play as.
Yeah. So there's like 3 main classes and then subset classes within each of those classes. So I think in total you've got like about 9 sort of archetypes you can choose, but for the purposes of this demo we were playing as a rogue, who's sort of like a nimble, dual blade wielding thief type character with like a bow and arrow as a ranged attack. But you can also play as a mage, and you can also play as a warrior. So as you would expect, there's a lot of nuance and a lot of variety in terms of how you can approach combat. But the whole thing just looked so spectacular. I couldn't get over how good everything looked. Just the lighting effects on the magic that was getting fizzed about. The sort of, and the other big thing in Dragon Age, of course, is being able to choose how you respond to your characters and to your sort of like party members as well as you're going through the level. And just like the banter between the party members as well was also on point. And you can obviously choose how you respond to them. You can respond in like a sarcastic way, in like in an honourable way. So it's got that really satisfying role-playing thing of not being able to just customize how you look, but also customize how you speak to your party as well. And obviously that can have consequences then on story stuff later down the line again, which I'm not going to go into and spoil here, but at one point in the demo you get to choose who goes with you into a very dangerous situation. And I will say no more about that, because some stuff goes down in the first hour of Dragon Age The Veilguard that people are not going to be ready for. So
how many characters are in your party?
So in this bit of the game we were looking at, we had 4. So you had Rook, who's your main character, and then Varric, Harding, and Nev were also with us.
Oh, the true crew, they all sound like.
A true crew, yeah. But, I honestly can't wait to get stuck into this. Like, we've been spoiled when it comes to fantasy role-playing games recently, I think with, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Dragon's Dogma 2 earlier this year. And now with this coming as well, I just, I've always wanted to get more into Dragon Age than I am, and having seen this now, there is absolutely no question that I am going to be playing the heck out of this game.
You don't mind about the story, you just want to see those beautiful visuals.
I do care about the story as well, because Dragon Age is renowned for like the drama of its story and how invested you get in the characters and the romance options and the relationships between the characters. That's always that is Dragon Age's big thing. So I'm absolutely up for diving headfirst into that as well. But flipping heck, it's going to take me a long time to get over just stopping and staring at how beautiful the game looks as well.
Well, you don't have long to wait until you see those beautiful visuals again, Rob, because Dragon Age The Veilguard is coming to PS5 in fall 2024, which sounds like a wonderful time for this game's release. I can already picture the fall weather. I'm going to get cozy under a blanket and go on a big fantasy RPG adventure with beautiful visuals, and it sounds fantastic.
It looks amazing, yeah.
But Rob, thank you so much for telling us about Dragon Age The Veilguard.
You're very welcome.
And everyone in the chat, please tell us what you think about this game. And also, if you like this video, please feel free to like and subscribe to the channel. And please stay tuned, because we're going to have loads more content on Dragon Age The Veilguard coming up. And we hope to see you again soon. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye!
PlayStation